Hi, kindergarten, first and second grade leaders. We are getting ready for February 11th, still talking about kindness, and we get to dive into one of my favorite stories this week on Ruth and Boaz. If you don't know the story of Ruth and Boaz, Ruth, her husband died, and her mother-in-law, Naomi, had her husband died as well. And in their culture, when the husband died, they didn't have anybody who could help provide for them anymore. And because all the sisters had lost their husbands, there wasn't anybody really to take care of Naomi. And so there wasn't anybody to take care of Ruth either. And so Ruth looked at Naomi and said that you are my people, and I am here to take care of you until God tells me differently. And so she kind of gave up her whole life to take care of her mother-in-law. And in this story, Naomi tries to help Ruth so that they can eat, so that they can live. And in the middle of all of that, she finds a man who is very kind to her and reaches out his hand to help her not only get food in the meantime, but also fell in love with her, and they got married. And so it's a really sweet story, short book of the Bible. So I encourage you to get into Ruth and see some of the stories that God has prepared ahead of Jesus. All of this was to point to help us understand that Jesus is coming, and that he is going to be our kinsman redeemer, the person that's there to save us, just like Boaz was there to save Ruth. So fun stuff coming up. In your small group lesson today, your opening activity is you have little candy hearts. The kids are supposed to stack as many candy hearts as they can in a minute. If you want to have them do something else with their candy hearts, that would be fine. Might be good to keep them at their table and to have them do that around the table, however best you can do that. And it really is just a time for you guys to get to be silly together, for them to get to know you, for you to get to know them, and to get us all focused on doing things together. Then we'll move into large group and we'll talk about the story of Ruth and Boaz. And then you'll move into your small group. And in your small group activity, you are going to have a bag full of popsicle sticks and papers and a set of puppets for all of the characters in the story of Ruth and Boaz. And I kind of have redone this activity for you a little bit to simplify it, mostly for you kindergarten and first grade leaders, because I know your groups are big. I know it's hard to get them to do all of the little activities. So I encourage you, do the retelling of the Bible story. Let the kids have the different characters. Help them know who they are as you read their part of that story. They can hold it up and act like they're that character and do a little puppet show for everybody in the group. You can do it over a few times so that everybody gets a chance to do it, and then send the bag home with the kids so that they can create their own puppets and tell everybody at home the story when they get home of Ruth and Boaz. So that's how I would do the activity this week. Hopefully I haven't put you out by changing it, but I think this simplifies it a lot for all of you in your small groups. Then when you're done retelling the story of Ruth and Boaz, you'll need an app on your phone. And I just searched for voice changing apps and found a fun one called Celebrity Voice Changer. And there's all kinds of different characters.
Elmo is so happy.
That was Elmo. And so what you want to do is have the kids record their voice saying the memory verse, do to others as you want others to do to you, Luke 6:31, and then you'll play it back to them. Really just a way to help them get those words in their head and to sink in. You may even want to just talk to them about what that verse means and what it means to you personally. And then you have a prayer and dismiss. And This month I did not make God times for everybody. I am trying something to see if we can get more people to take them home. We printed them in color. We made a whole packet for the whole month. So hopefully you're getting some good feedback. I've asked all of the parents who take those home to let you know what they're learning together as a family. It'll also be available on our website. If it becomes an issue at any point, I'd be happy to make the copies of the papers for you to pass out to the kids. What I've been noticing is most of the papers go in the trash can right in front of me as they're walking out the door. So just trying to help get the resources that people really need into their hands where it looks a little bit better, and they may want to do that. I think that's all we have. Thank you guys. Also, we have our Love Your Neighbor project this weekend, or actually next weekend. Next weekend we're going to do Love Your Neighbor, and we're going, we have 3 different projects. Would love for you and your family to come join us. Encourage your small group to be a part of Love Your Neighbor. Look for more details in the services soon, and I'm sure that Mike will be posting all of that on social media too. Feel free to reach me if you have any questions or thoughts at any time. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.